Hey, it's Doug with the Mahoney Mine, and today we're timbering. So we're going to go in the portal, take a look at what we need to measure out. I know first thing we got to do is put in a big old cross brace. And so that'll be a good way to start, show you how to stick and wedge them. We're doing this the old-fashioned way. We're just going to wedge everything in there, and we're going to cut and notch and make sure that it fits. And that way we'll use what timber we got to the best of its use. Now the portal's got something kind of interesting going on with it. Let me show this to you. The actual opening is larger at the beginning than it is going in where the actual drift is. That's pretty normal. The most unstable part of any mine is your first 50 feet. This first bit of overburden right here has seen the most water. It's gotten frozen, it's gotten loose, and so we have to timber this up really good. Now you can see that's quite a large opening right there at the beginning. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to run a cross brace across it, and then we're going to run a set inward and a couple of sets out. As you can see, erosion is a major player in this. So this is all going to have to be mucked, and then we will set those timbers, and the side lagging on them will prevent this in the future. So that's the plan, and that's what we're up against today. All right, I want you to see what I'm doing. By using an angled board here, comes down to the bottom, throw another angled one in. I've got a helper there. That holds your beam. And as it slides down, once I get it centered over that board, then I can inch by inch adjust it and get it right where I want it. And I've got handy little helpers here. So I'm not doing this alone. This is like 3 people doing this. I got one holding it there, and one's gonna be holding it there. And then I can get it in place, level it out, and shimmer in tight. So that's the way you do that when you're a one-man band. Oh, it's also really important to know This hole that I'm working in has been scaled 100%. While there's still a possibility of rock fall, it's very, very minimal. We found most of the loose rocks, already rocked them loose. Everything's really stable, so that way we can do a little bit of work in here safely. Wow, did you see that? I lost the entire set. So, we put on some side braces. That's not going to fall down anymore. And now we can go ahead and finish setting this and then putting in the wedges that are going to hold it. All right, a little bit of adjustment. That's where she's going to sit. Not too shabby. And let's check her for level. And survey says, yeah, puppy is level. Look at that. I'll take it. Alrighty. So let's do a few minor adjustments and start throwing this thing together so they can stand on its own. I think that looks pretty good. Let's step back a little bit and get a look at it, see how level it looks. Alright, that'll do. She's perfectly level with the line in the back from all the water that is pushed in dirt. That line's going to be perfectly level because it's water. And that looks about where I want to set that first big timber. So I'm going to go ahead and knock her all in, start putting in the wedges, and make it so it'll stay put. All right, she's set, temporarily wedged, and that's one. So we're going to have to keep those braces on there so it doesn't fall over even though it's stuck in there. Now we're going to run one set in and a couple of sets out, and that way we can tie them all together and that's stability. One-legged chair, easy to push over. 2 legs, really easy. 3, more stable. The more legs you get on it, the more sturdy it becomes. So as we tie the different sets together, it'll give them stability, not just from the top and the bottom and the sides, but back and forth towards each other. So we're going to do a couple more sets. We'll tie them together. Then we get some stability and we'll start putting the lagging on. All right, I know what y'all are going to say. You put in a spreader header. You did not notch that. That's correct. Because this is a support beam for the sides, and I didn't want to jeopardize its integrity. We want it full length, running all the way down the grain of that board. I don't want to cut it in half and jeopardize any of the integrity. It's supposed to hold that wall open really well. So we're going to put in a spreader board, and we'll actually throw in some little shims on the side there, make sure that those are all together well. Those aren't really big stress points, but you got to keep the boards from slipping. So that's pretty good for that one. And now we're going to go ahead and start outwards, I think, and put in another set out, anchor the two sets together, and we'll see how much time we got left for the day. All right, this is going to be the end of the first day. We got one set in and half of another set in, and it's starting to rain, and I can see the clouds rolling in. It's going to be a gully washer up here. So, and yeah, one guy can set all this stuff. So stay tuned, hit the like button, subscribe. Our channel, you can become a member, you can be a mucker or a driller and help us out with all of this. It's a little old mom and pop mine. We're doing the best that we can. So feel free to hit those buttons, like, subscribe, and help us through this adventure. So we've got an interior set, an exterior set. We're going to do one more going back into the mine, and then another one forward, and then we'll start lagging. That'll be the fun part. We'll close it all up, put a big old door on it and a big old padlock, and keep it safe from people. So